Today's vlog, seatbelts on, mic clipped, is going to take me east to the city of Biratnagar. From Kathmandu through the mid-hill highway. It's going to be Dhulikhel, Bhiman, Chetra, the new road that's opened up. I heard all the bridges were complete, and then it's going to be further east towards Itahari and then south towards Biratnagar. I plan on getting there by the evening. Let's see how long this takes. And today I have with me the Leapmotor C10, and it's a big boy car. It's got a massive battery of 69.9 kilowatt hour, and it's an LFP battery, by the way, which has a claimed range of about 420 kilometers on a full charge. So let's see how that goes. And for a 2.8 meter wheelbase car, it's got a massive great clearance of 190 kilometers. So on today's journey, I'm here to test the range out, the handling on the highway out, because it's such a tall car, and just to see how the car does on this overall long distance, long duration journey in Nepal. So tune in to find out how this goes. Okay, hello there. It's about a little past 5 in the morning, and I have started my long distance journey today from Kathmandu to Biratnagar, as I just explained. My car is showing a proper almost 90% charge, so it should at least get me up to around Mulkot is where I'm expecting to charge over breakfast before hitting all the way, or maybe not. Let's see how this goes. Honestly, I'm anticipating some amount of traffic along the way, especially after Dhulikhel, though I've been told the entire road from Kathmandu here up to Dhulikhel is also in construction, and then followed by the chunks and bits and pieces that were swept away from the recent floods of the BP highway. So I'm not worried about ground clearance on this car, thankfully, but there are other things to worry about when you have to go off-road. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Almost 6:30, 6:45 right now, and I am at Dhulikhel. Battery is down to 328 kilometers. That was a car that broke down along the way. And so it was just so much of traffic jam on the highway, like I couldn't believe it. It was in one of those chicken neck bottleneck areas, and but luckily the 190 clearance is really holding up on this car, but I think the main test is yet to come. It's breakfast time. 3 hours-ish on the road, maybe more, because there was a lot of traffic. And where do I begin? Well, first of all, traffic was horrible, and on top of everything else, I couldn't get I got the defroster to work, but the windshield kept on fogging up so much that I just turned off the heating. I mean, there was a proper temperature difference between inside and outside of the cabin, but it was a lot of turning on and off. And then I finally just turned down the window a bit, and temperature stabilized a bit, and thank God for seat heating and steering wheel heating. Leapmotor did really good on providing those two, and it's not just okay sort of seat heating, it's a really nice body warming sort of heating, so I love that. Thank you, Leapmotor. And then I really enjoyed how do I put it? The ground clearance. I can't lie about that. There were so many parts where the roads were really bad, and you had petrol cars really struggling to keep up on like descents and uphills and downhills, especially by the river. But the ground clearance still was phenomenal. 190 mm for a car with an almost 2.9-liter wheelbase. I didn't struggle anywhere. There were petrol cars struggling, short hatchbacks struggling. The C10 didn't struggle anywhere. I didn't have any problem with traction. I didn't have any problem with power. I'm amazed. I was honestly quite concerned due to the road conditions, but it was such a breeze. Like, I wouldn't say it was any more difficult than city traffic driving. Like, you know how it's difficult to manage a bigger vehicle size in like bumper to bumper traffic? Yeah, I wouldn't say this highway driving today was any more difficult than that. I'm amazed, and I have been driving with a pretty efficient foot, even in bad conditions, of like 11 to 12 to maybe even 10 kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometers. And actually, on the descent from Dhulikhel down, the dashboard was actually showing like just 2 kilowatt hour consumption, plainly mostly regenerative braking downhill. And yeah, I'm quite surprised, honestly. I am, however, charging the car here at Mulkot because there are a ton of chargers nearby. Bhiman, 12:37. I've been driving very slow through Sinduli Gardi, and the car is dusty and dirty, but right here, all in one piece. It's been a really fun drive up Sinduli Gardi. The consumption did spike all the way up to almost 30 kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometer, which is a lot if you think about it, and range did plummet quite fast. But the thing is, I had a full charge before leaving, up to like 95%, and so there really wasn't too much of a problem. My destination and the amount of charge I have left has a proper 100 kilometer buffer zone in between. There is a bit of a sensor problem here at the moment, where the TPMS is showing that there is less air in one of the tires, but I can't figure out which one it is because all of them look pretty much normal. But anyhow, it's going to be a couple of hours now. I did enjoy the drive. Really, really nice. The car was a bit wide, but I don't think there's a problem at all. Okay, it is 3 p.m. I'm at Gaighat, and I have been going a proper steady 60 and above. The roads are wide, and so you want to hit speeds, but they're very, very bendy roads, like non-stop left and right. So many. It's like the Sinduli road, but now this time on a flat land. But the Leapmotor has been handling phenomenally. Cool seats now, good AC ventilation, and surprisingly, for such a big, heavy car and tall car, the body roll is quite well contained. Going back to my review of having an allegedly Maserati Stellantis tuned suspension system, I think really holds off, because even in the bad broken parts of the BP highway today morning, it did pretty well. And on the tight hairpin bends of Sinduli Gardi, it did pretty well. And now on the flatter roads of Tarai, it did pretty well. Like, I am surprised. And efficiency has been really amazing. I'm not going to lie about that either. Like, 60, 70, 80 kilometer per hour average speeds and 12.6, 13 kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometers. That is really, really nice, right? Like you'd expect it to spike to about 17, 18. Damn, like that's really good. I am really amazed by this car. And this was the first time I felt that it was a really nice, stable, rear-wheel drive car. It didn't make too much of a difference in the morning though, but right now, like pushing out of corners and everything was really, really great. Anyway, so I'm about to have like a late lunch snack here, and Biratnagar is supposedly just another 105 kilometers away, and I still have 236. So technically I could have done this journey in a single charge, but as an EV user, I was just a bit cautious because you never know on the highway. Sometimes one truck breaks down and suddenly there's like hours of jam. I've stocked up on some food too. I don't know if you can see it, but I have like a whole bag full of food. And the funniest part about this journey is that I've actually had to put my baggage under the seatbelt because it just keeps on swaying left to right the entire day. I'm just afraid something might break in there. But anyway, it's going to be a quick meal, and I definitely want to get done with driving before nightfall or just into nightfall. Like, if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of driving into the night, into the wee hours. I shot some really nice B-roll though on the way here, so that was amazing. Ooh, it's been a long day. It is 4:40 p.m. and we are actually crossing the Koshi River, way upstream though from the dam and everything. It's a much smaller part. This is where the embankments actually start, and way down there in the horizon is the big massive dam that is known throughout. But anyway, the Bhiman to Chetra road, I'm almost done with it, and it's been, I think, close to 200 kilometers on this straight. The road is fantastic. All the culverts and the bridges that hadn't been completed have been completed, and you can, once you start hitting the road, you can just keep on going at it. There are chargers along the road though. I had been told otherwise, that there weren't too many chargers along the way, just one or two, but there were Tata chargers, there were MAW chargers, CG chargers, and hopefully Leapmotor will at some point put in their chargers too. So you can definitely hit this with your EV in the coming days. Unlike a year ago I actually opted out of using this road to come to Biratnagar because all the bridges weren't done on this road and there weren't EV chargers, so I backed out. And I didn't need to actually charge. Like, I still have 181 kilometers at 43%, and my consumption has been just 13.5 kilowatt hours. Going at a speed of 80, 90, 100 sometimes for such a big heavy car, I think that's more than phenomenal when it comes to efficiency. Like, long ago I used to sit and think, when will bigger cars with bigger batteries get more efficient? Because I'll be honest, the earlier bigger battery cars that came were like gas guzzlers, electricity guzzlers. Their efficiency were quite high. But the Leapmotor C10, I don't know what magic they did. It's a car brand that came up in 2015 out of nowhere, started producing their cars in 2019 if I remember correctly. Now it's 2025. I'm heading east towards Biratnagar today, and efficiency is great. Like, bigger batteries, more efficient motor powertrains, they can definitely go the distance. I was amazed about that. And something else I really enjoyed along today's very long drive are these seats. Like, they're very cushy, well, and wide. And they really, even for long hours, like I'll today has it's stretching to the 12-hour mark since I got on the car in the morning, and I've been on the road, and my body feels relaxed, partly because of the empty highway, but also partly because of the ergonomics on this. You're sat really upright, you have a good view of the bonnet in front, so whether at speed through the narrow roads of Sinduli or these wide flat roads of Tarai, you are in a very commanding position the entire time, and you know exactly where your four wheels are. I did have a bit of a hiccup along the way where my TPMS suddenly went off, and even though I checked multiple times, I didn't know which tire was running out of air. Like, everything looked okay. I even pulled over a couple of tire shops and asked, can you please check my tire pressure in each of the wheels, because this car has more of an ITPMS rather than a TPMS that just alerts you when the tire pressure goes down rather than actually signal you which one it's not right in. And they looked back at me shocked, going, all your tire pressures are 40 and fine, why are you stopping? Keep going. And so it was luckily just a recalibration of the tire pressure that's done through this infotainment screen. I called up Leapmotor Nepal and they were happy to assist me on how to do it, and I haven't had any problems. It is 6 p.m, almost 5:50 to be precise, and today's trip has been quite interesting. I'm here at Biratnagar now, and the battery is at 34% with 141 kilometers of range left. And what I can also show you is that subtract about 10 kilometers from this, 386. This is when I picked it up from the showroom, but about 375 kilometers is what today's journey was about. Considering I have 141 kilometers left, and this is about what I topped off at Mulkot today while having breakfast, this could quite easily do this entire journey in one charge. I was just being cautious myself. Can be done, but when you have a charger, why would you take the chance? By doing this though, I was easily able to press on the accelerator, though I will tell you right now, I didn't switch to anything outside of eco mode. Oh wait, it's not called eco mode on this car, it's called oh wait, it is called eco mode. Eco, comfort, and sport. I did not use comfort or sport at all. I instead went to custom, and this is the eco equivalent: smooth, stable, and robust. I kept it at that. Regenerative braking, I kept it in the middle level, not high. I felt a bit too intrusive. And steering mode, sports made it feel very heavy, and I did not want to put in that much of effort, whereas comfort made it super light and manageable for like bumper to bumper traffic. But because I was on highway speeds, I kept somewhere in the middle. I'm glad Leap Motors allows you to customize all of that. And I turned off most of the ADAS settings, except I did try lane centering, which worked really well, especially on the Bhiman to Chetra Dharan highway. I loved it, but then I turned it off after that. Once I hit the east-west highway, I was like, I'm done with all these ADAS features. I don't want anything. But anyway, the last bit, I did hit a bit of traffic into Itari, but I always hit traffic at Itari. There's no surprise there. Okay, it is the morning after. Finally well rested and well fed. And so I'd like to conclude today's video vlog. And well, remember how good Japanese automakers were when it came to the refinement and enjoyment of these long travels? Well, I'm happy to conclude that Chinese automakers are now on par, especially this Leapmotor C10. Other than efficiency and ground clearance, which I have been honestly raving about throughout, the build quality and the comfort I felt while driving this entire 300 plus kilometer journey was next to none. And I, for one, think that this is not only a great for value money car, but it is equally convenient for city commutes and for long distances like this today. Anyway, that was me for this review. So drop a comment about what you thought on the C10 on a long distance journey, or any other questions and comments that you may have, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.